aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. Set to return it, here's Turner. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Carr gives to Richard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
You got 56 there. Down! Blue 80! Five-man box.
On second down, here's Carr. Finds a seam inside the 40. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Richard. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Carr to throw on second down. Dancing to his left. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Flushed out right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Able to fight through one tackle. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
2nd and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and run. Freeman. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
93. Purdue. 694.
Here's Carr. Steps away to his left. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Second down, Freeman. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That looked like a two-deep coverage, which we call cover two. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
Well, we saw the example of it right there.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Over.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Black 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run for it. It's Freeman. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a handoff to Richard. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr buying time to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and it's 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Carr. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And this is complete on the comebacker. It's Landry. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Gun! Watch it now, Barney!
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there. 26 yards. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now. 3-19.
second down, Mayfield. Well, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Browns on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. They'll run it. Freeman. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go with Washington to begin the drive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now a timeout called defensively by the Browns as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. To throw on 2nd down. Carr.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
734. 93. 93.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last drive, They were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
6-18.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Mayfield on 1st down, and he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the 1st half. 3-0 our score as the 2nd half gets underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, 2nd quarter in Atlanta. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that detracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Being chased out left. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues, and the chains move again.
Detroit! Over! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Leopard! Watch it now, Barney!
And again, it's Chubb. And a solid run down inside the 30. So that one will get him halfway to the 1st down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Mayfield. And the Raiders have got him.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be third down. On third down, Devontae Freeman. He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Now it's Freeman. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Devontae Freeman is shifting. This doesn't pay off here in short yardage. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st, here's Washington. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
That caught up to him. A lone second remains now in this 3rd quarter.
Watch it now, Barney.
Freeman. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Detroit!
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Tahir Whitehead. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Now Carr. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 22. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Following the interception, Mayfield. Now he'll escape to his right. And he's got room. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
Here's Freeman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete. David Njoku was the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Mayfield. He finds some open field here. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Eddie Vanderdoes in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for the 1st time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Forced out to his left. Completes it right side to Cooper. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
Hey, Raider 2. Now, 280. 618.
On 1st down, Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Joe Schobert coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the...
And the pressure gets to him again. Larry Ogunjobi in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
694. Down. You wide, 88. 24. You got 56 there.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's going to go down again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield looks to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Over, 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 over.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. No. Check. Patriot. Patriot.
Freeman again. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
On 3rd down. That's Freeman. Past the 20. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run with Chubb. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They get it to him running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Browns, the